He called Bitcoin, and I quote, disgusting and contrary to the interests of civilization. I want to play this clip for you and get your thoughts on the other side. Let's watch.
I think I should say modestly that I think the whole damn development is disgusting and contrary to the interests of civilization.
Contrary to the interests of civilization. Now, Michael, it doesn't look like Munger is in any hurry to adopt the Bitcoin standard. What do you say to that?
I think they're baiting a 97-year-old man, and it's colorful. The mainstream media wanted to comment. They didn't ask him about TikTok, Netflix, Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Google, Microsoft. They didn't ask him about any of 100 other new technologies. If you want to understand Bitcoin, you reasonably scratch the surface in 10 hours. You start to understand it in 100 hours. I don't think Charlie Munger has spent 100 hours studying Bitcoin. So I think it's kind of unfair to poke him with the question. But I'll state for the record, isn't Berkshire Hathaway a generation behind all technology? Despite the fact that Warren Buffett is best friends with Bill Gates, Warren Buffett never invested in Microsoft, and Microsoft was founded in 1976. And so they never invested in Apple until 40 years later, and then it was a person that worked for them that invested in Apple. And they didn't invest in Google when it came public, and they passed on it every year since. So I think that this many controversy is just because Bitcoin is the fastest growing, most disruptive force in the world right now, objectively speaking. It went from $0 to $1 trillion in 12 years. That makes it the most disruptive technology in your lifetime, in my lifetime. More disruptive than Amazon, Apple, Facebook, and Google. More disruptive than anything in our lifetime. Maybe if we went back to the automobile and Henry Ford in 1910, we might find something that changed the world in a decade. But not, that doesn't come along often. So all these people are getting poked and asked their opinion. When I'm 97, if I'm still working, if I'm lucky enough to still be alive and still working, if you ask me about the latest, greatest hologram simulation technology startup that's taking the world by storm, that's used by my grandchildren, and I don't quite get it, I wouldn't expect to get it. So, isn't Charlie Munger old enough to be your great-grandfather, Michelle? Do you go to your great-grandfather for investment advice on new technologies?